Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, I don't know what made me think about this, but I woke up this morning and I was kind of just like reliving in my head my sophomore year of high school, and I was just thinking about all the pranks that I used to play. And there was two ones specifically that I thought like worked like really well and that were like pretty cool, so I thought I'd share that with you guys. So, the first one, these were both on my math teacher, by the way. The first one was to not only prank my teacher but my other classmates into thinking that the classroom was haunted. So a couple days prior, we were actually talking about like scary movies and how we felt about them and like which ones were based off of true stories and talking about like haunted things. So that's what like gave me the idea to even pull this prank. So the day before I pulled the prank, I asked my neighbor for fishing wire that he had, and he gave me some, which is good because it's like see-through, so like you can't see that it's there. So we go into class the next day, and before this class, we have lunch. So during my lunch period, toward the end of the lunch period, I decided to go into his room to like set it up. Usually he's not in his classroom. He's usually doing whatever teachers do during lunch, going to the bathroom. I don't know. But today, for whatever reason, of course, he was sitting at his desk. So I like walked past the hallway. I was like, okay, well, I need like a reason to go in there. So I untie one of my shoes. I walk into the classroom and I sit at the side table that's like right next to his desk, and I'm just like making conversation, like talking about the homework and all that stuff. I go down, I was like, oh, my shoe's untied, so I bend down to like start tying my shoe, and as I'm doing that, I take out the fishing wire that I just had held in a knot in my hand, and as I'm tying my shoe, I also, English please, thanks, also tie one end of the fishing wire to the bottom of the chair, and then keep the other end in my hand so it's like nice and like tight and sealed and everything like that. He didn't notice it. Then the bell rang, so I walked over to my desk, which was like halfway across the room, and I'm sitting there, and you know, Mr. Jordan's doing whatever he's like, whatever teachers do at their desk, grading papers, I don't know, waiting for like all the students to come in. So as he's doing that, I put my bag down next to me, and my bag is like covering my foot, right? I tie the other end of the fishing wire to my ankle, and it's like very tight, like I had to stick my foot out a little bit so that it didn't drag the chair a little bit. And I noticed the wire is like sticking up a little bit, like, and I was so scared for my life that somebody was gonna trip on it. Like, you have no idea. I was fearing for my life. Like, I just kept watching everybody like stepping over. I was like, oh my god, like I need to do something, like we need to abort mission. But I just took my bag and I put it on the wire next to my foot, so like it flattened it out, so it was raising a little bit, because if it's tied around my ankle, it's like elevating a little bit. So the bag being on top of the wire helped like even it out. So eventually everybody got in their seats. Mr. Jordan gets up, like comes over to the projector, which is across the room, and we start taking notes. I really wish I recorded this. Like, I don't know why I didn't. Maybe because like it would have been obvious. But so I'm about to pull my ankle, but instead of like doing like one jerk move, I thought I'd like mess around with it a little bit. So like I'm like sitting there like pretending to take notes, and I like look out the corner of my eye and I jerk my ankle a little bit, and the chair twitches a little bit. Now this kid JP is sitting there and he's taking notes, and he looks over like a little bit like he thought he just saw something, but he wasn't really sure. So he kind of just like went back to what he was doing. He was the only one who noticed something. So then I jerk it a little bit more, and it's like moving a little bit more this time. And he like looks over like, okay, like he knows something moves, and he's just staring at it. And he's like, what the hell? Like, and his, like you could just tell by the way his face looked, he's just like, and as he's staring at it, trying to figure it out, I just jerk, and the chair comes flying, like almost hits him at his desk because of where he was sitting. It was so perfect. He screams, he jumps up on his desk, like everybody looks over, they're like, oh my god, like what the hell? And like they're like freaking out, and like a minute goes by, I'm like, guys, it's like just a prank, like I did that. And Mr. Jordan, he didn't get scared, but he didn't know either. Like I asked, like, did you know I did this? And he's like, no. But he just wasn't scared, I don't know. But everybody else in the class was terrified, and like they thought it was like such a cool prank, and I don't know, I miss those days. That was really fun. So that was a really good prank. Everybody laughed and thought it was like funny. And then a couple months later, when like you're kind of at that point in the year where you're not really doing work anymore, you know, the good part of the year, we're just sitting at our desks listening to music and everything. Like everybody's kind of just like wandering about the class, and I was sitting with my two friends at the desk, and me and my friend actually like teamed up. Like I came up with this idea, but I needed another person, obviously. So what we did was, I do like special effects makeup, kind of like, I'm not good at it, but like I do it. So I have like fake blood and all that. I bring fake blood to school, and I put a little bit in the palm of my hand. So we're just talking and everything like that. We're waiting for like Mr. Joy not to be busy so that he can react to something when the time comes up. And her name's Karina, me and her came up with this plan that like we were gonna pretend like we got into a fight, kind of. So we're sitting, we're talking, all of a sudden we like start arguing, but we're still sitting down, and like it was not really gaining people's attention because it wasn't like supposed to be dramatic, but like, you know, it turned some heads, and you know, he looked up, and then all of a sudden she takes my head and she goes psh, and like slams my head into the desk. And meanwhile, like, so they're all sitting on this side of me, so like it looks like she's banging my head down, but I actually have like, you know, I'm protecting my face with my hand, but my hand's also covered in the fake blood. So it goes like that, and then I raise my hand and I put all the fake blood like on my face, like on my nose, like around my eye and everything like that, to make it look like I just got my face bashed in. And so I said it, and everybody's like, oh my god, like she just did this. And Mr. Jordan's like, are you kidding me? Why did you do that? And so he's like, all right, well, get up and take it to a nurse. Like, he wanted her to take me to a nurse after she did that to me. So I'm like sitting there crying, like I'm like shaking, and like she's like in shock that like she hurt me that bad, and like everybody's looking and they're like talking about it. And so me and Karina get up, and I'm like acting like I'm gonna pass out, and he's like, are you all right? Like, do we need to get a nurse down here? And I just start laughing. I was like, no, it's just a joke. It's just a prank. He thought that was good. He laughed at that. He was like, all right, you got me. You finally got me. That was good. And then we tried to do that. My next period teacher, we tried to do that, but she ended up seeing the fake blood tube that I left on my desk as we were doing that, so it didn't really work. But it was the idea. I don't know like how I came up with like these ideas, but I don't know. I'm just good like that, I guess. But I love pulling pranks. Nobody's been really good at pranking. AJ's pranked me a couple times, but like I've pranked him good. Oh my gosh. So gentlemen, this is why you do not make a lady wait. So one time we were going to his house, right? And we weren't staying there. He was just going inside to get a couple things. And he's in there for like 25 minutes. I'm like, dude. So I'm sitting in the car waiting for his ass to get out. And after all this time goes by, you know, I have a lot of time to sit there and think. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna like use this time to teach him a lesson. So I'm like sitting in my car, and like I have like a lot of stuff in my car, like clothes and everything like that. And I take everything from the back, and I had like a sweatshirt on. I took my sweatshirt off, and I opened the passenger door and kind of like spread things out a little bit, and I had like my sweatshirt like hanging halfway out the door. And I got up, and I got out of the car, and I kind of crouched behind a car where I could see his front door, so I could see when he was walking out. So when I finally see him walk out, I like run behind a different car that makes it so I can see my car. And so he's walking like toward the car, and then he sees like the car door open and like the internal light on, and like all my stuff spilled everywhere, and he's like, Paige, and like he's like looking around and he doesn't see me, and he starts crying like he thought someone took me. So like I'm a horrible girlfriend. So after like like 45 seconds, like 30, 45 seconds of that. I just came out, I was like, babe, I'm sorry. Like, no, I'm right here. And he broke down even more at that point because he was like relieved, but he was so scared and he like didn't know what to do. So I was like, well, that's what you get for like leaving your girlfriend in the car for like a half hour during the middle of the night. Like when you said you were gonna be inside for like 2 seconds, you know what he was doing? He's making food for himself. That's what he was doing. So I kind of feel bad, but then again I don't, because ever since then he does not leave me in the car by myself for that long. So but yeah, so those were some of the pranks that I've played, and I really like doing them. They're really fun. I am definitely the type of person that can like go a little bit too far. Like I'm definitely that person that people will consider like crossing the line, but like that's just my personality. So if you guys have any prank suggestions, comment below or DM me on social media, and I will do them. I will try my best to do them. I think I'm a pretty good actor, I think. So, like, I can, like, cry on cue and stuff like that. It's a blessing and a curse. But, yeah, so don't forget to like and subscribe. And, like I said, DM me, comment below. Or if you have any prank stories, definitely let me know, because I love watching videos and reading about that kind of stuff. So, I'll talk to you guys later, guys. Yeah. I'll talk to you guys later, guys. Bye.